Welcome to Tales from the Streets.
Here's what our narrator has to say. Crazy, isn't it? That the father of a child will be his grandfather. This is so messy, so disgusting. But I'm forced to hush hush about it because it's shameful too. My sister married into a home where I will say everything was arranged for her by our parents and their friends. My sister didn't do much schooling, mainly because she wasn't bright. You know? Some people are not going to be scholars. My parents knew, but they just forced her to finish her OND and then helped her get a job with one of our father's friend who had a factory. She was never going to be anybody big, and she was never going to make any serious money. She was never going to have any meaningful career being a secretary. At best, my parents hoped she would find a husband, have children, and that would be all they needed her to do. Well, my sister had worked for the factory for more than 5 years and no boyfriend or husband. And I know this worried my parents, as the rest of us, her younger siblings, had since finished school. Because she was not good at school, we passed her and finished school before her. I had got married and had a child. My younger brother also was in a relationship at that time. So I understand my parents' anxiety over my sister, who was the eldest. Then I heard my sister was getting married to the son of our father's friend who owned the factory she worked in. I'm not so close to my sister, to be honest, but I was curious as to how she got involved with this guy. His name is Fred, and we had known him when we were much younger. I told you his father was my father's friend. So we knew Fred was a kind of funny guy, which is why we wondered how come my sister got involved with him to the point of marrying him. I'll explain what I mean by this later. Anyway, ceremony was done. My sister moved in with Fred and his parents. Yes, Fred lived with his parents, lived in his parents' home, which is nothing strange, really. Things like this happen. Young couples living with their parents. Okay, so I later found out that my sister was actually arranged for Fred. Arranged marriage. Again, nothing strange. These things happen. But Fred is gay. Aha. Again, don't get me wrong. That's his life. I have no business judging anyone's sexual orientation. So you can see what is happening here. His parents knew who he was. They arranged a marriage with my parents for my sister, who isn't smart enough to know she was being used. Anyway, first year, nothing happened. No pregnancy, nothing. Second year, my sister became pregnant. Naturally, I was happy for her. I went to visit her one day. Like I said, I was not so close to her, so yes, I had stayed away for a long time, but I just went to visit her when I heard she was pregnant. And I noticed the familiarity with which she was with her father-in-law. She was in the kitchen. He went there to sit and chat with her and laugh with her. She went to get something from the bedroom. I saw him, from the corner of my eye, pretend he was going to another room, but ducked into her room. And they were there for more than 30 minutes. I had to knock on her door to tell her I was leaving. She asked me to go back to the sitting room, that she was coming to join me. She came back, sweaty and happy. When I asked her where her father-in-law was, she said he was asleep in her room. I was shocked. What kind of game was she playing? I asked her about her mother-in-law and her husband, and she gave me some flimsy reason. She said Mama and Fred were attending a wedding, family wedding somewhere. So why is Papa home with you? And she says, is this not his house? I kept quiet, but I reported what I saw to my mother. My mother said to mind my own business. That was when I knew there was something wrong with the whole setup. I tried to mind my own business. But when this kind of thing is in your family, it becomes your business as well. My sister had a son. Everybody celebrated like they didn't know how she got the son. By everybody, I mean Fred, his parents, my sister. I was to find out that Fred and his mom knew his father was sleeping with my sister. Can you imagine? Very dirty thing. That's not all. A few months after the child was born, Fred fled the country. Something about people wanting to kill him because he is gay. I don't believe that story. The guy used the fact that Oyibo people feel sorry for gay people to flee Nigeria. I'm saying this because many people knew he was gay. Not once was he threatened. He'd been looking for means to go abroad and so used the fact that he was gay as an excuse. That's just my reasoning to this. Anyway, Fred has left. Baba is old and still having sex with my sister because she's pregnant again. My family acts like all is well. Same with Mama, Fred's mom. They all want me to stop asking questions and making them uncomfortable. But am I wrong here? Am I the one who is wrong? I'm telling this anonymously because in case there is a judgment against my family on this kind of mess, let it be known that Ma no de amo.
If you enjoyed this story, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.